Hello again, and welcome to another episode of Brenda's Musings. So last night I was with some friends and we were talking about fears. And I admitted to a fear that I didn't realize until I was in about grade 12. And it's that I have a fear of high places. They don't have to be high places, quite frankly. I have a fear of heights when I'm on a narrow surface. And I discovered this in grade 12 because I was doing gymnastics. And I had to do a somersault over the high bar of the uneven bars. And I had to stand on the lower bar in order to do it. And I stood there crying, like on the bar at, 16 or 17 years of age. And one of my friends said, it's not the fear of falling, it's the fear of landing. So I thought, yeah, that's probably very true. And I don't mind like going up a ladder, but coming down a ladder, I'm not that comfortable with it. So little things like that, I thought, oh, okay. And I sort of thought, that's sort of my only real fear that I know of. But then I woke up this morning, I went, no, it wasn't when I woke up this morning, it was when I was out taking some pictures of some shale sort of rock faces. And I'll post a picture that I'm talking about in the comments below, but there was this one picture that just has, it goes in sort of like, you'll see it in the comments. But it reminded me of, oh yeah, I have another fear. I have a fear of kerplunking in tight spaces because I'm a pretty big person. And the thought of getting stuck and not being able to get out. So if I was to go into, say, an MRI machine, I wouldn't have that fear because I know that they can get me out. But the fear of getting stuck into a cavern and not being able to turn around or work myself loose, which, I know is not a rational fear because I'm sure I could eventually work myself loose. It's not like I'm going to, run full speed into this spot and get stuck. But yeah, so it's like most fears, it's an irrational fear, right? But I thought, oh yeah, kerplunking in that sense. Now, get me kerplunking into like a giant cavern, no problem. But the tight space thing, and I'm not claustrophobic. You put me in a closet and, I can open the door. Like I'm not afraid in that sense. So it's not a full claustrophobic fear. So I don't know what you would call it. But anyway, I recognize, oh, that's another fear. So the conversation was, again, we were talking last night and the conversation turned to, well, you need to do, one of the things to get over your fear is you can do more of that, what you're afraid of. So I'm not comfortable talking on camera. I'm not comfortable talking in front of a company of my peers. I mean, I was a teacher. I had no problem teaching. I could talk there. But yeah, there's something about, putting yourself out there. And I remember years ago doing, to try to get over this fear of doing a talk at a Mo Mondays event. And I had it all written out and I'd practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced. And when I got up on stage, the notes that I had, sort of fell to the floor. And I just said, to heck with it, we'll just wing it. So I got partway through this story. That I was telling. And then of course my mind kicked in and I wasn't present with the story anymore. And then I lost my place of where I was, which was a whole other lesson. And at the end of it, everybody thought I'd killed my grandmother. So because I just sort of finished fairly abruptly and got off stage. So yeah, the things we do in moments of fear, right? But it got me thinking today about, showing up for ourselves and showing up whether we're afraid or not, just moving ahead, taking baby steps. And, we've talked about this before, but it's one of the best ways to move forward. And, I'm trying to think in my life where I can do more of that. So it's not going to be going up and down ladders a lot or that kind of a thing. Not till my knees are a bit stronger. But, where are some areas that I am not showing up that I can be taking the baby steps, right? And performance of my music, that's certainly one of them. Because I keep waiting till it's perfected. And it's never going to be perfected because you know what? There's going to be screw ups. It's a live performance. I did a dance earlier and the tech didn't connect, and like stuff's going to happen. So I just have to embrace it and move forward. And I hope you do too. Have a great one, everyone.